Hello, my name is Allison Wonderland. I am the self-proclaimed priestess of Wonderland, where I feel that I have learned to bridge the gap between my own imagination, spirituality, and the mundane world. Follow me down the rabbit hole to explore all things metaphysical. These weekly moon update videos are uploaded every Sunday to let you know what is going on with the moon energy for that week and how you can learn to compare it to your own personal cycle. So I'm going to leave you with future Allison. Please like and subscribe so that you can be notified when I upload new magical videos sporadically, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side of the looking glass. Hello, friends, and happy 2023. I am starting this week with my 2023 planner. You could have started last week if you wanted to, but I am using this week as the official start date. And we are also going to have our full moon candle lighting and setting up our planner extravaganza on Friday, January 6th for the full moon. What we're going to do a lot of things because things just got too hectic and crazy at the end of the year. So we're going to be setting up our planner, and that's going to include putting your tabs in, cutting out your moon cycle, and attaching it within the planner. We'll be going over our birth charts and all of the zodiac signs, so you can kind of start off 2023 with kind of a base knowledge of your chart and also just basic zodiac information. We're going to do a meditation and light our candle, and we're going to pick a word for the year if you haven't already, or if that's not something that you've done, we're going to do that, or set intentions, resolutions, whatever, if that's what you choose to do. So bring your planner with you. Have your tabs and your brad. Have any colored pencils or markers or pens that you want to use, because we'll be coloring with the birth chart. So if you got your birth chart overview with your Kickstarter campaign, that came with a coloring page, so you might want to bring that along as well. So just anything that makes you feel inspired and creative that you want to include in your planner. You might want to bring magazine clippings if you want to do some sort of a vision board. So we're just going to hang out, have kind of a comfy, cozy craft evening, and then also end with a candle lighting meditation that we can do together. Remember that this is a full moon, so we're not setting intentions for this moon cycle. We are simply in the middle of what I am considering a planning moon cycle. I'm using the entire Capricorn moon cycle to be planning for the year and mapping things out, making lists, making decisions, meditating on things, contemplating things, and wintering. Because the universe has forced me to hibernate in winter. I had an accident last week, and it forced me to be in bed and with ice packs, and I am allowing myself to winter because that is what the universe wants me to do. But it does feel like something that I think the collective should do, because winter is the time that we are supposed to be contemplating and thinking and digesting all of the things that we shed in the fall, and kind of sit with that emptiness and that darkness and that stillness and see, what do we want to bring in next year? What do we want to call in? What do we want to fill up that emptiness with? That way it's something that you're calling in something good and positive, and that is going to be for your highest good. We are right in the middle of winter. The winter solstice on the 21st of December marked the beginning of winter. So we're not, January is not the time to be acting on things, to be starting new things. we're supposed to be wintering, we're supposed to be hibernating, we're supposed to be going within. So the meditation will simply just be a kind of like a dedication to following the moon, to marking the beginning of this year. And then on January 21st, which is the Aquarius new moon, we're going to be starting a follow the moon challenge. I figured that was a good time to start because we are starting this new year and this new planner in the middle of a moon cycle. So we'll be doing that January 21st, but we'll talk more about that as we get closer to that. But that's all the news for this week. Thank you, everyone who supported all of the fun collaborations that we had over the holiday. And I really think that for some of us in the community, this is a healing time. So please send love and healing to your friends in this community, even if you haven't heard or seen from them in a while. Because I think we're all needing a little bit of extra love these days. That is it. Let's check in with the energy of this full moon week. Okay, so this week we have a full moon week. So that means at the beginning we have a waxing gibbous moon. You have an example there on Monday of a waxing gibbous. So I'm just going to slowly decrease the dark part on the left side of the moon until we get to the full moon on Friday. So then on the opposite side, we have a waning gibbous. So you're doing the opposite. So you are shading in a little sliver on the right side of the moon for the waning gibbous. All right, so we are starting off this week on January 2nd with a Taurus and a Gemini moon. So Monday morning, we are technically still in Taurus. We had Taurus energy over the weekend. This is a very homey, grounded, loving kind of energy. Taurus is ruled by Venus, so that's where that loving aspect kind of comes into it. And there are two signs ruled by Venus, and that is Taurus and Libra. So Taurus is an earth sign and Libra is an air sign. So I see Taurus as the physical, tangible aspect of love. That's like the material possessions that like make you feel comfortable. It's financial stability. Whereas Libra, air energy, is that mental idea of love, the way it makes you feel. So I see the earth Venus, which is Taurus, as like the physical, tangible things. And I see Libra as the way we think of love, like how we express love, that sort of thing. Starting off Monday, the earth element in general helps us lay foundation. So starting off this week, like, okay, we're starting off this year, we're starting off a new week in a new year. Most of us are probably going back to work. So heading into this week with a strong mindset of like, okay, let's do this. Most people are seeing this as like a fresh start, a new beginning. I don't see it that way, because I don't see the first of the month being like a new fresh start. But that energy is still going to be there because the collective celebrates this holiday of new year, new me. So it is going to have that kind of new moon feeling, even though we are in the middle of a moon cycle with a waxing gibbous moon. And I think the Taurus energy is going to kind of reinforce that, have it be like heading headstrong into this week and into this new year. And we'll be in Taurus energy until 9:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for those of you on the West Coast, you will feel this shift a little bit earlier in the evening, maybe around dinner time for you, and we'll move into Gemini. So Gemini is moving us from earth energy into air energy. And like we were talking about with Libra, this is expression of thoughts and ideas and mental activity, wisdom, and the mind. Gemini, specifically being the twins, is a sign of duality and how to express that duality. They are able to see two sides to the same coin. They get a bad rap for having this multiple personality, Jekyll and Hyde, but I think that they are just have this more of an understanding for being able to see both sides of things. Gemini is very fun and playful and joyous. So Tuesday and Wednesday, try to make your week feel a little bit lighter. What is something that makes you happy and brings you joy? Gemini is also, because of that communication element, Gemini, when the moon is in Gemini, it is a time that I like to write my thoughts and ideas down, or you might want to decide to have a conversation with somebody if you've been needing to talk to somebody about it, because that expression and that communication comes a little bit easier when the moon is in Gemini or in the sign that is ruled by Mercury. So like we were talking about with Taurus, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. So these are two forms of communication, but with those different elements, the Gemini energy is more expressive, communicative, the thoughts and ideas, versus the Virgo Mercury is the physical, tangible things of like, how can we physically organize these thoughts and ideas in order to communicate and have things flow smoothly. So those are just kind of examples of the different ways that those planets are expressed through the different elements and the different signs. So we'll be in Gemini energy. I think that this will be a good time to kind of solidify some of your intentions and your ideas for this year. Just because I tend to use Gemini energy to write my thoughts and ideas down, to make lists and to work things out. If I'm trying to make a decision or think about something, I really try to tap into that Gemini energy that way. And then we are moving into Cancer, 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday morning. So this puts us into our full moon energy. And I really love that a lot of times we end the year with a Cancer moon, and sometimes we begin the year with a Cancer moon, because you're always going to have that combination of Cancer and Capricorn, because they are opposite ends of the zodiac. But I mean, what better way to start moon planning than with a Cancer full moon? So Cancer is loving and homey. I use Cancer. So Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon is our emotions. So this is, how can we take care of our emotions? How can you allow yourself some more ease and comfort? And being a water element, I mean, this is a time to focus on self-care. This is a time to really allow and give yourself some ease and grace, because despite the hard exterior of the crab, they are very soft in the middle. So if you've had to put on this hard exterior and be tough on the outside, this is your opportunity to give yourself some gentleness, some grace, some comfort, some kindness, and self-care. So this weekend, why not start off your first week of the year of finding something to do on the weekend that really rejuvenates and replenishes your energy? What is going to fill your cup back up at the end of the week? We will also have our meditation and candle lighting, but we're also going to be doing crafting and, having fun with our planners, setting up our planners. So crafting for me is self-care. So I hope that there are some of you out there that feel the same way, and that will be a good way to spend your time on Friday evening. We will also be dedicating to following the moon, committing to following the moon on Friday for the full moon. The full moon is when the moon is at its brightest. So this is illuminating those things that you have accomplished, illuminating the things in your life that maybe need to be done a little bit differently, or illuminating those things that might need to be let go, released, or transmuted. So this is just a time of shining a spotlight on things and what needs to stay, what needs to go. Honoring and celebrating like your strengths and your accomplishments is a really great thing to do on a full moon. But on a Cancer moon, this is really about highlighting what are those things that really replenish your energy and figuring out how to bring more of that into 2023. So this will kind of feel like a longer Cancer time because we from 9:15 a.m. Thursday until 9:40 p.m. Saturday. So that's pretty much all day Thursday, Friday, and Saturday will be in that Cancer energy. I like that because I feel like self-care is very important. So pick one of those 3 days, if not all three of those days, to do something kind and gentle for yourself. Because then we will move into Leo. And if you want to extend that into Leo energy, you can, because Leo is regal and loyal and or has this like royalness to it that wants to be waited on, wants to be served on, wants to have people pay attention to it. So I can make self-care work for any of the zodiac signs. So have an entire weekend of self-care if you want. But like I said, Leo the lion likes to have the spotlight on them. We will have a Leo full moon next month, but this is not Leo's time to shine just yet. But it might try to hog the spotlight a little bit. Focusing on the self is a very Leo thing to do. And doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, because I think most of us, especially those of us that are more sensitive and intuitive, do tend to put others before ourselves. So if Leo Day brings that spotlight back onto you, then I don't see any problem with that, as long as you're not neglecting something that needs your attention, because I think self-care is the utmost important. So Saturday night and Sunday, we will be in Leo energy. So this means we will also start next week with Leo. So this might have to do with just doing something that makes you feel good, that lights you up, that makes you feel confident. And that doesn't necessarily have to be like a self-care thing, like a spa day or a facial or whatever. This can just be like, what is something that you have accomplished or are looking forward to accomplishing this year? And like I said, because I am using this entire Capricorn moon cycle to plan and set intentions, this might be a Leo day, might be a good idea to look at what do you want to have accomplished. Take a look at like your bigger goals, and how can you make your bigger goals a reality. In the same way that I think that you can use Gemini energy to communicate and to like have this set in stone, like I am going to commit to this goal. I think Leo can kind of shine that light or that spotlight on what exactly it is that you want to set your goals around. So we have all of the elements represented here this week, basically, because we're starting off with Taurus and Earth energy on Monday. And then we move into Gemini, which is an air sign, and water and fire at the very end of the week. So see how that flow of energy works for you. Make sure you're writing it down in your mood trackers. If any of you are new to the 2023 planner, I think most of the people that have purchased for 2023 are returning from last year, and I'm so happy to have you here. But if you're new and if you have any questions, please reach out to any of the Facebook groups or Discord, or reach out to me personally if you have any questions. And I hope that you can join us for the full moon planner extravaganza is what I'm calling it, but that's just because we have so many different things to cover, so many different things to cover in one evening. So it's going to be a fun craft night. Okay, so our chakra focus for this week is a heart chakra. The crystal they recommend is rose quartz, and the herb is jasmine. Acceptance comes in knowing that where you are in this moment is exactly where you need to be. Nothing to change, nothing to fix, nowhere else to be, and nothing else to do. Your heart chakra is the center of your energetic system, and so your heart and your love are the center of your highest consciousness. Once you center yourself in love and allow it to be the fountain that hydrates your life, you can show others how to move from their love center as well. I think this is a beautiful card to start off with a Cancer moon, because that's exactly what I was talking about. Even if people have this hard exterior, we are all soft on the inside. We're all kind on the inside, or need love. And probably most of us aren't giving ourselves enough love or allowing enough love. So starting off this first week of January and this first full moon of the year, if we highlight acceptance and heart chakra energy, I think it's a beautiful way to start off this year. Okay, I think I'm going to do the Fairy Godmother, because this Fairy Godmother deck has this kind of tough love energy to it. So I would like to ask my guides and higher self to help me pick a card for the collective. What energy do we have? What encouragement can we have to focus on for this first week of a new year? Identity. Interesting to have acceptance and identity here. Let me dress like this every day of 2023, though. Let's drop the mask. Time to be free. Reveal your true identity. Shimmer, sparkle, wear bright red, party hard, or stay in bed. Do what you will. It ain't no fuss. It's your life. Be fabulous. Reveal the real you. You know who that is, but does anybody else? You are desperate to show the world who you really are, but fear the reactions. What if you are rejected in some way? Are you brave enough to expose your true nature? Having played this facade for so long, you now go out of your way to be who others expect you to be. This has become all very tiresome, however. It would make life a lot easier if you didn't have to pretend any longer for the sake of keeping the peace. You no longer wish to be cloaked and masked, but are still reluctant to let those props go. For this disguise is your security and has served you well, up until now. But imagine how amazing it would be to get dressed every day in whatever clothing you felt would express who you really are and how you really feel. Think of how freeing it would be to act in the way appropriate to your true personality. How wonderful it would be to admit your genuine likes and dislikes and to act accordingly, never minding the judgments and opinions of others. But what would happen if you dropped the act? How would others react when they realize that you aren't who you appear to be? Would you be treated differently? Ask yourself these questions and do not be afraid to admit the truth. Only can you then decide whether you are brave enough to be your authentic self or continue to hide within a world of deception. My fairy friends and I will support you as you take these brave steps towards revealing your true identity. You only have to call me, and I will surround you with your protection as you hold your head up high and announce to the world who you truly are. So I think that these cards go very well together because I think that, accepting your true identity, accepting your authentic self is the first step. If you are unsure of who you are or how you present yourself to the world, you have to fully accept that and forgive that. Because I think a lot of us have things on our shadow side that maybe we're afraid to admit or embarrassed to admit or disappointed to admit. But the thing with a new year is that we do have this fresh start. We have this clean slate of forgiving and forgetting the past and just making a vow to do better, to be kinder, to be more gentler to everyone. And that includes yourself and has to start with yourself. So I think this is a beautiful message for this full moon in Cancer. Remember to be kind and gentle to yourself, to not rush into anything. It's winter. Let yourself rest and relax. And we talked a lot about this on the Witching Hour 2023 prediction episode. And I'll link that in the description below because it's been 3 years, or it's coming into 3 years now, of prolonged stress and a truly chaotic world on every level, in every country, in every home. I don't think there is a single person that has not been affected. And if you're out there, where are you and how did you manage to escape this madness? I think that that is kind of one thing that pulls us all together, but I think trying to put on a brave face and trying to pretend to be somebody else isn't helping you heal the things that you have gone through and experienced the last few years. And I think things that we've gone through and experienced the last few years have also been maybe bringing up things from the past, triggered things from the past that maybe weren't completely healed all the way, or need to be revisited and reevaluated and then healed again. And allow yourself that space. When I see acceptance here, I also see allowance, and allow yourself that space to be sad if you need to be sad, to cry if you need to cry, to scream and yell and holler if you need to do any of those things, which I find myself needing to do most of the time. So I see acceptance and allowance, and maybe committing to being who you truly are. And rose quartz is a crystal that will help that. Rose quartz is commonly used for relationship and love spells, but when I work with rose quartz, it starts with myself. And maybe that's just because that's the medicine that I need to be able to love. I mean, we all need to love ourselves before we can love somebody else. But I think it brings this, rose quartz brings this awareness of, wait, you haven't been that nice to yourself. You haven't been kind or gentle to yourself. So it starts there. And I use rose quartz for self-care, self-healing, self-love. So this would be a really beautiful crystal to start working with this year. I always focus on rose quartz in the month of February as well, because of the importance of self-love. It is first and foremost if you are thinking about Valentine's Day or relationships or anything like that. I focus a lot. And our candle box for February will also be self-care, self-love focused as well. So why not start with self-care and self-love right now at the beginning of 2023? Um, I love you. I see you. I see the growth and transformation that you had last year, and I can't wait to see the growth and transformation from this year. Thank you so much for your support. Hug yourself, love yourself, and I hope to see you on Friday for the full moon planner extravaganza.